Thank you for tuning in to another video. For those who are new, welcome to my channel, Woke for the Narc, Awaken My Spirit. Today I just want to talk about how the Most High God, He is in constant communication with us. He wants us to be in constant communication with Him. He wants us to speak to Him every day. Prayer is very important. But some people just believe or think that, no judgment at all, but some people just feel like as long as they pray before they eat, before they go to bed, that's it. They're basically doing their job. And that's the thing I'm just trying to stress to, everyone. It shouldn't feel like a job to communicate with God. It shouldn't feel like it's taking your precious time away from you to communicate with God. It should never feel that way. We know we're all busy, but we all have time to do things, especially when it comes down to praying and being grateful and acknowledging, the Creator who blesses us each and every day. As simple as the sunlight, the rain, times when we need the rain, to the changing seasons. They're all blessings that people overlook because they're just so accustomed to it. But it's just God's love that He's showing to us each and every day. God just wants a relationship with all His children, to where besides just praying, you just in your car on the way to work, and you just in your thoughts still praying, praying out loud, or talking out loud, or talking, inside amongst yourself. He wants that type of relation with you. The more that it's just consistent, and he knows the heart. He knows that it's just coming from a genuine place. You'll definitely notice more just spiritual gifts that you just may be blessed with. You'll notice Him communicating with you more in more ways that you could only imagine. Aside from just praying and just feeling like the comfort of the Spirit, there could be things that He tends to do to get your attention about something. Prime example, you're going through something, you're praying about something, and before you know it, you receive a message from a friend about something that you're going through, something you prayed about. And then that message follows say like a YouTube notification, right? A YouTube notification talking about the same exact thing that you prayed about. And then, also affirming that your friend just messaged you about the same thing. Now you're getting a YouTube notification talking about that particular subject. These are ways that God gets, your attention by repetitive messages. And that's key. That's something you should never ignore. If you see a similar subject being talked about over and over again, this can happen all in one day. It can happen, you receive 2 messages about the same thing one day, then the very next day it's like a continuance. This is God, trying to get your attention about something that's important. And, I know that from experience. God, depending on your relationship with Him. And that's the thing. Everyone's relationship is different. Everyone prays differently to the Most High. Everyone, just their communication style is different. So I'm not sitting here to tell you how you should, nor should anyone else tell you how you should pray, because that's on you. It's all personal. My personal belief, I feel like that's what churches fail to kind of teach everyone, is that it's a personal relationship. It's personal. There's no right way of praying, not at all. And I just feel like a lot of people not being informed, which I feel like they shouldn't, because aside from going to church, and there's nothing against churches. I know I'm getting a little bit off topic. There's nothing against churches, but the fact of the matter is it's all personal relationships with the Most High. And if you don't exude that outside of church, it's like you're just going there just to hear the word, but you're not a doer. You're a seer, you're a hearer, but you're not a doer. There's a lot of seers and hearers when it comes to God's word, but they don't put in the action behind it. Their heart is not into actually being obedient or having this understanding of the Lord. It's just more of just hearing it and acknowledging it. And it's completely different. It's completely different. But just to get back on subject, yeah, just, you'll just realize that if you just have that love and that passion, just communicate and just open up your feelings to the Most High, like He will speak to you. He will. And, I feel like some people may get frustrated because maybe they expect Him to speak in a certain way, but there's various ways, and He wants you to. That's the one thing about God. He's not an author of confusion. If you're confused by something, it's always important to pray. It's to pray, ask God for more understanding or clarity, and I'm telling you, almost immediately, I'm not saying like that very minute, but I'm sure very soon you'll get confirmation to that clarity that you're asking for. But God is not the father of confusion. And if you are confused by something and you're continuously confused about something, it's not coming from God. It's coming from the enemy. Prime example, when it comes down to relationship, if you're praying to God, asking God, I just don't know. Do you think? I just don't know about this person. I just don't know if this relationship will work. I feel this way, but is it even worth it? If you're confused like that and you're praying and you're waking up in the middle of the night confused, and it's taking away your energy, and you're waking up, the next day going to work and still praying, and after prayer you're feeling even more confused, no sense of peace, and you already know that's not God that's speaking to you. It's the enemy trying to confuse your mind and just cause havoc on you, just deplete your energy. So keep that in mind when it comes down to the two. But I'm about to wrap up this video. I just wanted to send that reminder out to everyone that it's more than just reading the word and praying twice a day, or praying 3 times a day for be over your meals and before you go to bed. It's more than that. You look at people in the Bible, God's disciples, and they were in constant communication with the Lord. They were praying, seeking guidance. The Lord spoke back. It wasn't just a one-time thing and just lived their life and until the next trial and tribulation happened. No, it was constant. And that's what the Lord wants. At the end of the day, God is a spirit. He's a spirit with a personality, and He's in complete control. He can speak to you in numerous different outlets, through numerous people. He can use your enemies. I've experienced that too. God can use your enemies to speak to you. Your enemy may say something that you would never expect, and it's nothing like bad, for example, but your enemy, the person who may try to sabotage you or do something to you behind closed doors, he would use those same people to speak truth and light into you. Like my narc, I probably said this in a video before a while back, but the narcissist I was with, I kid you not, she told me, which I feel like a lot of people, comment down below if that's ever happened to you, if you know anyone who has, but my narcissist, when she realized that the game was up and that she was defeated, she said something along the lines of like that I deserve better, that I deserve someone who makes me happy, and that I'm handsome. And it was crazy, man. It was kind of like the person who, it kind of went from a person who was trying to destroy my life. Of course, if she had opportunity to, she definitely would have, absolutely. But it's like knowing that a person tried to destroy your life, to all of a sudden is being like the realist that they have always been at this very moment. Since I've known this person, this is the realest they've been, as far as saying like I deserve better. Like, that's God. That's God working through that person. God works on good and evil, light and darkness. It's all part of His plan. And You know, when you truly believe, you gotta trust it. You gotta trust it. You know, you gotta stay in communication. You gotta stay in tune with the Spirit, because the Spirit that lives in you is a piece of God. You know, that's what He promised all His children when He ascended to heaven. Jesus, when He ascended to heaven, that's what He promised. You know, a piece of Him, a piece of the Most High in all of us. That's why we're able to overcome all these challenges that we face, even though sometimes it may seem like there's no sight in the end, that we're not going to overcome it. It's just too hard to bear. But I feel like we can always look back and see things as we have overcome, and we came out stronger, and there was always some sort of blessing, you know, connected to it. So that's what makes us different from the world who chooses not to communicate with God and repent for their sins and do better. That's what makes us different, is that we go through trials like everyone else, but we know through our faith and our trust in the Most High that all trials and tribulations is just a time for God to show His glory, and for Him to receive all the glory. For people to look at you to see, like, wow, like, how did this person make it? How does this person survive the darts and bullets, you know, shot at them? How did they survive? It's just to show God's power. You know, I'm learning. I still have a lot to learn about this journey, for sure. But one thing I can honestly say is I know when I am in constant communication with God, and, you know, I'm trying. You know, some days where I'm just tired and maybe I'm not praying as much or reading as much, but I know when I'm always putting that effort to communicate and lean on Him, He's done miraculous things thus far, just to show that He's there for me. That, you know, my guardian angels are around me, and, you know, it's a warming feeling. It's definitely a feeling that I can't really explain. It's just beyond words. That's all I can say. Thank you for everyone who's tuned into this video. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to leave comments down below. Until next time, peace out, YouTube.